Goodness gracious, me oh my, it is Tuesday? Yeah, and I'm ready to ride. I am your master of waves, loving joys, trouble boy, AEOXIS. What's good in the wood, everybody? I'm glad people are joining this morning. It's Tavon Anthony. I am normally doing my morning nonsense, acting a fool, having a good time, holding my wish a motherfucker would. And as you guys can see, I have a lovely, amazing guest today. She is stupid hilarious, has me freaking laughing every time she posts a video, but also it's just the conversations that we've had like over the past little bit and just the topics that she puts up. You guys know how I am about certain subjects. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you guys to the amazing Chelsey Peach. Chelsey, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. It's actually late afternoon today.
Oh yeah, for you.
For me.
Like this is what happens when you're halfway around the freaking world.
I know, I forget that sometimes, but yeah, we always end up managing to chat our stuff.
Somehow, right? Like somehow, like it would be like an odd ass time. Like I'm freaking doing my side gig at like 4 a.m, and I'm just like, oh, what are you doing up? You're like, no, what are you doing up? I'm like, God dang it. She's absolutely right. I'm clearly the freaking fool. But but yeah, I'm glad we could finally do this. I know we were supposed to do it some time ago, but hey, things happen. Not gonna lie, kind of worked out better for me at the time.
Did it? Oh, good. Then I did you a favor by having a sick child that time.
Well, yes. I hope they've recovered.
She is recovered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Charles, like just let's get the regular stuff out of the way real quick.
Okay.
Tell the people a bit about
so
who
formal.
you. Sorry, I know. It's just I like to get. It's so weird. It's because it's like normally when I have a guest, they're like right here, so it's just like
Through a screen.
He's like, do I conduct an interview or do I just?
I'm like, can you guys see me?
Oh my gosh. Just so you guys know, this is literally how our conversations normally go anyway. We're just like, okay, it could be either extremely profound or just straight up nonsense.
It could just be, weirdness, but life would be boring.
Yeah, let me tell you. So once again, let's jump into it just a little bit. Chelsey, tell the people a little bit about what you do online. One of the things that drew me to like your channel in general was just the fact that you would talk about certain subjects, when it comes to sex work, how people are treated, how, basic respect needs to be out here. Like, it's like these are the things that I normally get the gun put up on my head for. Like, you're being a simp. And I'm like, how am I being a simp if I'm having common decency, or at least what should be common decency?
It's wild out there.
Listen.
So I talk about sort of on my page. I mean, I do online work as well, but I think the main point that sort of triggers lots of people is that I talk about that I do full service sex work. So I meet people in person, I attend to their intimate needs, and I'm trying to destigmatize sort of the whole industry, not just the full service, online sex workers are sex workers too. And just trying to sort of help people see that we're people and we're allowed to have boundaries. And there's actually nothing wrong with two consenting adults doing what they want with their genitalia.
It's like, it's
basically.
Yeah. And it's something, you guys know, I push this all the time on my page. And then to have someone who is actually in the business, it's just like, okay, well, you're the person I could point people to just in case, because I don't want to say anything wrong. But oh my gosh, it's just like, especially now, it's like when it comes to certain like countries that have certain cultures, whatever, right? Belief systems, whatever, right? It's like there's certain places you're not going to be able to reach. That's just what it is. But when it comes to any country, and I talk how I want on my fucking platform, any place that it's like you're supposed to be living with the idea of freedom, why is this such a big deal? especially like once you said two consenting adults doing what they want to do with their genitalia. I don't understand why this is so taboo, especially like, first of all, human beings have been having sex forever. Okay.
Well,
Like,
if it's natural, this is my argument that I always bang on about. I'm like, if sex is so natural between two consenting adults, then like at what point during the money exchange does it become soiled? Like, who made that idea up? Like, who came up with that when people were like, oh, it's dirty, it's wrong? It's like, how though, and why? And like, watch them try and explain why.
like,
It's
well,
funny because they're fumbling, and it's like, okay. He's like, because it's weirdos. And it's like, I don't have to sleep with weirdos if I don't want to. Like, I don't have to give service to everyone who asks. Why are you sleeping with Fred from the copying room when he's married? Like, for free. Sounds like you're just asking for drama there.
pretty much. It's like, wait a minute. So you guys are willing to play the dangerous game when you could, just from a practical standpoint, I'm being honest, especially if you got yourself a partner at home. Let's just say, unfortunately, it's not an open relationship, or it's not a relationship where you guys have talked about actually, maybe you could see another person. You just want to get out of here. First of all, why get with somebody who's probably like, who's not in that field? This is where I'm coming from, because one, you're paying for it discreet. like what are you
Yeah,
doing?
you're paying for that moment alone. You're paying for the discretion around it. And like when you leave, you can just go back to your life
Yeah.
without so and so texting you like, I gotta tell your wife unless you leave me. Like,
Kicking your door down, showing up at your job.
why do you want that drama?
Some
Like,
people, I think what it is some people like the thrill of just the, well, oh my god, I'm being dastardly. Like, what? This
I
is
think it's the
impractical.
validation as well, isn't it? You know,
Ah.
it's something exciting. If we're here in a human experience to feel things, it's pretty exhilarating doing stuff like that, isn't
Mhm.
it? Like someone new, someone fresh, maybe you're a bit bored, maybe you had an argument because someone left all the laundry on the chair and they said they'd do it and it's been there a week, and like now you're really freaking not turned on. But you know what? Sally's looking good. Like
Sally's looking real good.
she's looking good today. The wind blew and it's pointing my head that way. Do you know what I mean? And like
Oh.
we're humans, we're gonna have, intimate urges, desires, whatnot. And like maybe Larry has like a kink, like he likes feet, but his partner would hates the thought of anyone touching their feet. Like, but they're too scared to say anything to their partner that they might want to get those needs met elsewhere, but it doesn't take away anything from their relationship.
No, I could not have worded that better.
But we're so repressed as a society, like we're so sexually repressed that,
I think
asking for what you want for free, let alone paying for it, is very much shamed.
it's ridiculous. Like you said before, where during the transactional process, the money transfer process, does it get soiled? Because you don't go to Starbucks and then all of a sudden, because now I'm paying for this coffee, it's less desirable. You literally went here for this reason. Okay.
You want
Like,
the coffee, right?
oh my God, I have to pay chai latte. Like,
Excuse me?
how
Like,
dare you?
coffee's supposed to be free. Did you not pick that off a tree?
Like, I mean, you
Like,
could have went and you could have went
yeah,
and
but
got
the
the beans
labor
yourself and did it,
providing
but
the coffee bean, what about the labor and the things to get it there? Well, it should be free. Look.
but the labor, this wasn't your labor, this was someone else's labor. They took time out of their day. You understand you're paying for this because you're skipping an entire process, right? Like,
Yeah, go find the trees and pick the beans
you want instant
if you want it for
gratification.
free.
You want instant gratification, there's a price that comes with it. That's it.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
literally,
service. I went and got the coffee bean. I ground the coffee bean, put it in some hot water in a cup for you, and now you want that for free? Yeah, well, society says I should have things for free.
are
Okay.
you sure? That's
Yeah,
where I come.
yeah,
Are
but
you
that's
sure?
basically what people are saying about sexual intercourse. It should be free,
It's
and
like
It's like, why though? Why is it got to be free? If somebody wants to give me money and I'm going to only accept giving it to them if they
I
give me
mean,
money, why is that a
technically,
problem for you?
water's free, but I don't see a shit ton of people in this city going down to the bay and getting no water. I don't.
No, because they pay for the
Convenience
treatment
stores,
center to treat the water so they can drink it from the pipes in the house. And it's just, it
unless you're
all
going to
makes
distill a whole bunch
sense.
of water in your own house. It's like now I've seen that setup. I know some people that are like that, and hey, more
Good
power
for
to
them.
them. It's like you got it.
Beat the system. I like it.
I personally just don't have the time or patience. Love you guys. I'm gonna go to the 7-Eleven.
But yeah, and I talk a lot about how destigmatizing it does actually help people feel sort of more seen, heard,
Mhm,
valued, and like it'll help humanize the people in the industry because
mhm,
they see it as like loads of people. I know it because I get to see the comments all the time. You know, you're just renting out your body, you're selling your body. Like, what part of your body is not walking yourself to an office for someone else and being paid for it? Like, what part of your body is still at home? It's not, is it? And they're like, yeah,
like,
but though, and then they come back with another counter. Yeah, but these things are useful to society. Who said humans getting intimate needs met isn't useful?
it's like,
Uh,
first of all, okay, as a man, I will say this.
A man.
I know as an apex mammal, I know I have many different friend groups. But there's always that one friend group where the guy's a little frustrated because he ain't got it in. Whether it's just he needed to pound something out or he just needed a hug that night. There is a significant difference when that guy is getting that and when he is not. If you don't think it's useful, oh my God.
Do you know, like, the hormones that are released when you have skin on skin contact? I'm going to trademark this term, right? Because I tell this every single client I have, because a lot of them feel shame around it and they're like, oh, this feels so nice. I really love the hugging part after. And I'm like, yeah, this is all part of it because we need skin on skin contact as humans. They actually make a huge song and dance about it, about when a baby's being born, skin on skin is life saving.
Hmm.
Why does that poof, disappear when suddenly you're an adult? Like, that doesn't disappear. Those
No.
hormones are still very useful for calming, for making you feel happy, for just basically for your, what do you call it? Getting your meat sack in balance and feeling like it can feel. I like calling it a flesh vessel. Like, it makes your flesh vessel feel good. So why is it bad?
I like how we have these terms for this, referring to human beings. Flesh
Meat
vessel,
sack.
meat sack.
Well,
Remember the first?
if you're looking at facts and people like looking wanting facts, it's like, well, yeah, but that's what we are. We're all a bunch of floating meat sacks and flesh vessels
I remember the
going
first time I
around.
used the term meat sack. It was actually around my mom.
Really?
Because like I came up with the term aimless meat sack when I was in high school.
Did you?
So she was just like, "So how are you feeling?" I was like, "Another day, I gotta go hang around with a bunch of aimless meat sacks." And she was like,
Oh my
"Son!" And I'm like, "What?"
god! I just feel like, well, he's just creative with his descriptions, you know.
No, man. My mother is always questionable about my language choice because
Uh,
anytime I say someone passes away or has unfortunately left this earth or died, I'm always like, "Oh yeah, they croaked." And my mother's like, "You insensitive child." And I'm like, "Mother,
they
what?"
did though.
They're
They
gone.
did.
Like they're gone. Dang, what they gonna do? Come back and get mad at me? Good luck. Like
I know, right? Like,
now, if one does raise like the Undertaker, I will apologize.
yeah, you can
But
always just do a little. You know, I didn't mean it like that.
oh my gosh. But yes, no, these listen, they're if you're gonna tell me that one of the professions that, especially when it comes to the United States, one of the professions that built this country literally
country.
built this country is not like necessary. It's like, okay, if it's not necessary, then why are you guys like freaking, I'm just gonna use the term, why are you guys shucking and jiving doing all this extra shit that comes with drama, that comes with a lot of secrets, that comes, listen, first of all, I'm just gonna be honest. I know more than a few people that got paid hush money by some congressmen. So as far as I'm concerned, why are so many people mad at it? I think it comes down to a couple of things. I mean, there's a jealousy factor. There's some people that don't feel like they're as liberated. There's also the
Yeah.
idea that, okay, well, somebody else gets to have access to this person that, not gonna lie, I'm attracted to. But I don't want to pay for it. But if they pay for it, they get it. But I want it. Yeah, sounds like you need to do
I
some
want
soul
it for
searching.
free, and people are paying you for it, and I'm not wanting to pay you for it. Therefore, I feel like it's offensive that you would expect me to pay for it.
How dare you? Like, what?
Dare you?
Excuse me?
I was speaking about this with someone. Was it yesterday or the other? Because we get loads of hate comments and stuff, and I'm like, where does this come from? Like, why are you so mad at what I'm doing with my body and my business? Like, what makes you so angry about it? And I think it's because they're sexually repressed in their own lives, which is not their fault. You know, we're built, it's inbuilt into society. It is. It's fundamentally part of our way of being. We're prude. We're sort of shamed. We're sexualized, but we're shamed in the same breath. It's really fucking weird. It's a horrible paradox existence to be in. And they're sexually repressed. They're not able to get what they want for free, let alone have someone in their face who was getting it and getting back. How offensive. Like, therefore it's wrong because I can't even get it for free. Like, like, why is it wrong though? Like, and how does it affect you in any way? It's like, you're not, this isn't a flex. Being a prostitute isn't a flex. It's like, well, neither is being a bricklayer, Barry, but here we fucking are. Like,
pretty much. So I think, well, at the end of the day, human beings, a good amount of them like the idea of hierarchies and shit, right? Like, okay, do I have a chance to feel better than somebody else that's doing something that I may consider immoral because of whatever reasons, whether it's religious, anything like that? They are fornicating for money. Like, what? Okay. I mean, there are people that kill for money. I mean, I
yeah.
mean, some are private, which is, you guys look at that illegal. Some is public, and we call that the military. Now, it's like, I don't really understand why I think we kind of talked about this, and it was funny because I was talking to another friend of mine about this the other day. I was like, if I describe something as you've got a job where depending on the venue, it's considered highly illegal or legal. You're utilizing your body for other people's entertainment. There is some, depending on who the people you're engaging with doing this job, there is some potential physical damage, psychological damage that comes along with it. You could mess with there could be a couple of sloppy agents within this field that could screw you. Other dangerous people. There were a couple of other points I was making. I was like, would you think I was describing MMA or sex work? Because it's the fucking same.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't go out in the street and bust somebody's ass sideways, especially in a state that's not like a consensual combat state. Like, if I'm in Florida and we go to a police officer, it's like, hey man, can we duke it out real quick? We got a problem. Yeah, sure. They'll eat their donut and watch us fuck each other up. But in Washington, D.C., if I get caught freaking throwing hands with some guy who consented with throwing hands with me, we're both going to jail. Like, that's what's happening. It's like,
yeah. And when you start using the law as like a moral standpoint, like, don't forget, it was illegal for black and white people to congregate together at one point. Does that mean it was right? Like, why are we using the law as a moral standpoint?
it's, well, anybody that believes the law comes down to morals is the biggest idiot on planet Earth. It's just like you say, things change with
Yeah.
time and also with the outrage of other people. It happens that way. It's like, hey, dude, like what this happening right now would be a fucking problem like back in the fucking 50s, you know?
Oh my
So
gosh.
like
Yeah, it would be a huge issue. It would be
exactly.
scandalous.
Mhm. I'd have people outside my freaking door like, get out here. All right, Chelsea, I'll see you in a
Yeah, my family would disown me. I would have also I'd never be married off to my cousin.
damn.
Well, that's what they all did back in the day.
Well, yeah.
Incest was A-okay. And then people are trying to still like hold on to these like moral standpoints
Like moral. Like,
that are
dude, you
like
don't know
from age
history.
old times. Like, no.
Mhm. Like, no, first of all, moral standpoint. What is it? Virginia? Virginia's like the state where you can legally fuck a horse. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Oh no, there's some odd laws in the United States. I'm gonna tell you right now. Like there's
There is.
what
I
is it?
did read about you're still allowed to like marry a 13-year-old and shit in some states.
In
Like,
certain places, apparently. I was just like, wait a minute. Like some of the places is like, well, if their parents sign off on it, it's like, really, motherfucker? Like, but it's
that's
like,
trafficking. Oh
yeah,
my god.
this literally so it's just weird. Yeah, it's like in some states you can fuck a horse. In some states, it's illegal to do any other sexual position outside of missionary. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, listen. I'm like, wait a minute. Listen, I throw no shame towards anybody and their preferences. And you know, there are some groups with beliefs that that's what they should do. I'm not Amish. I'm fucking some other way. So what do you mean this is illegal? So if a cop kicked my door down and said, we found you, and I'm not in the position
Can we
y'all want
get
me to
someone in
be
here
in,
right now? We got people doing doggy right in their own house.
I'll be like, so you're telling me the only thing that's going to save me is hoping this officer did not have a warrant. Like, just like, first of all, how did you even get a warrant? I had reasonable doubt to believe that you.
That's what I mean. So when people come at like standpoints like that, it's like, oh, you've got no moral compass, you've got no this, how can you do this? And it's like, look, if two adults, right, aren't hurting anybody and they're both in agreement and they're like, oh, what about trafficking? It's like those people don't want to do it. They're
Yeah,
not there of free choice.
not a
They
consenting
are
thing.
being trafficked because it's coercion.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm here out of choice. Like, I've gone to school. I'm not stupid. I had other jobs and I found them really fucking boring. And I really like providing an immersive, intimate experience where somebody I can see is feeling amazing and I'm the result of that. And they want me to provide that for them. That's incredible. I also get happy hormones because I'm getting a fucking hug too. I need hugs too, and I like them. Sometimes I get to orgasm quite a lot, which is amazing. Not many jobs can say that you have like an occupational hazard of coming. Like,
An
that.
occupational hazard of coming. You know, you might come. Oh my
That
goodness.
sounds awful.
Huh. Well, hopefully it doesn't happen today.
How terrible. I better be going.
Oh my gosh. No.
And people are like, oh, what if you don't fancy them? And I'm like, well, not everybody has to have the same body autonomy needs in order to have intercourse with someone. That's the funny thing about free will and the sanctity of that is that you can do things that please you
Mhm,
with other consenting adults. And they're like,
mhm.
how do you enjoy it? It's like, I can always connect with some people on a level. I believe all bodies deserve intimacy. I very much believe what I do is providing needed healing. I become a little counselor for a lot of my clients.
Mm.
Men are very
Well,
fucking repressed emotionally.
so just a quick chime in right there, right? There are people that when they think about sex work, immediately they just think, okay, it's some grimy thing where Grand Theft Auto style, you picked up somebody off the street,
Yeah.
which does happen. You go to a corner and it's just like, oh, here's the money, sweetheart. I'm through with you. Like, it's like I personally know guys that will patron a sex worker and sex isn't even involved.
No.
I just need somebody to talk to.
Sometimes it is just it is literally companionship
Can we
services.
just walk down
Or
this freaking street or this park together? I don't
yeah,
know, something like this. Like,
can we talk? Like, I have one lady, like, who I know who's also does this work. She just meets this little old guy and has a coffee for 2 hours a week. And they just talk. He wants to talk about politics. He wants to talk about the world. He wants someone to talk to. Like, why in a society where we're brought up to feel like we're not enough, that we need to be buying more, why is it so shocking when we end up putting our buying power into the very things that make us feel human, which is connection and community, intimate needs, feeling special, feeling seen, heard, and valued in that moment?
well, some
It's
people feel,
powerful.
yeah, no, it's very powerful. And, you're always going to get the argument from people like, well, somebody shouldn't have to pay for this. They should just be able to get up and go outside and everything should be ha ha he he. It's like, first of all, not everybody's the same. Not everybody has the same lifestyle. Not everybody has
No.
the same capacity for people. There's just too many other things on the in between. It's like, what if you got somebody that just really doesn't like actually going out and meeting people, and this is what this actually helps with that? Or let's say you got somebody who has, I'm not saying I'm not assuming on anyone's life. Let's say you have a guy that has the schedule of, say, The Rock, right? When do you have time to just be out here like, hey, baby, I'm trying to get to know you? Like, you
Yeah,
get to
and
know
like,
who you're working with. That's what it is.
what if they don't have time to cultivate those kind of relationships? What if they don't have the capacity outside of that specific thing? How is that going to cater to that other person's needs? What if they're looking for a proper relationship and that's not what this person wants? Like, you've got to be able to cater to both. This is the thing. You have the boundaries and the set outline of what it is from the offset when you're paying for it and you're asking for a specific service, which is company, but within very set lines. And like, you don't get that if just going out and managing that with just normal relationships. Generally, people are going to want more from you and you might not be able to provide it. So that leaves you with nothing. So what? You're just meant to have unmet needs the rest of your life?
Listen, there are some people that feel like because of what's been put in their heads, there's a set structure of life and that you live it and then you die based on what cards you feel like you were dealt, right? And I think we just need to start educating more people, especially the coming generations, which are way more like what's the word I'm looking for? Pessimistic.
Well, I mean, it's very difficult, I'm not going to lie, to be optimistic when we are being squeezed from every angle. We're having a nuclear family set up, shoved down our throats. Like, that's how it's supposed to be. We're creatures of community. Like, when they say it takes a village, they fucking mean it. Like, that was most of the tribes and stuff. Everybody's doing something. And yeah, lots of them are fucking each other.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't have to be like a one set wonder. The amount of married clients I get, like, obviously monogamy isn't actually the best setup. Evidently. Like, whether they want to admit it or not is another thing. Like,
That's the man. And that's how you know there are certain people that just get trapped in certain parts of life, right? Or they feel like that. They feel like that.
They feel like that. And I don't
there's no
think a
such
lot
thing
of
as a
my
true trap.
clients.
Like unless you owe the mob like $1 million and your ass is on a ship somewhere, you ain't really trapped.
I think it's the idea that once you're in a relationship with someone that you are owned. And don't get me wrong, some people really are very monogamous, much like a lot of animals. Who is it? Puffins? They have like lifelong fucking partners.
Yeah.
I think it's puffins. But like, not everybody is going to be wired exactly the same. And like this is why, because we're so force fed what everything should be a one size fits all. We're all pretty much programmed, aren't we? Like none of us, if we're not focusing our own needs healthily, I might will preface that with, then they're gonna come out in some other unhealthy way, like completely crossing boundaries in your own relationships to make sure
Mm-hmm.
they're met. Like,
Mm-hmm. And trust me, I've seen it. I've
mm,
literally seen it. Hell, I have a friend that, thank God they divorced before any of that happened. But it's like, a something going on here. Yes. Okay. What y'all gonna do about it? We just gonna leave this alone. It's not gonna work out. All
yeah,
right.
because confrontation's scary. Asking for what you need is scary because then you might lose that person.
Well, in their scenario, they were both vocal about what they needed. It's just neither one of them were gonna. So it's like, okay, well, y'all got hitched pretty quick, huh? This is a bad idea. Uh,
And that is the
no.
beauty of action and consequence.
Yeah, yeah, but no, I also know people that, like you said, confrontation. They feel like, okay,
It's scary.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not.
everyone
I'm not
gets
gonna say it's
those
not.
heart palpitations. You get your veins pumping in your eyeballs, and you're like, "Oh my god, this is not going to go down well." I know what I'm going to say is going to be like a sack of shit hitting the ground.
Like, oh, this is gonna
But that
suck.
doesn't mean that those things aren't going to be living inside you,
They're
screaming
there.
at you to pay attention to it.
They're there. This is why I tell people, when you date, you got to vet. That's just what it is. But also, just get everything out in the beginning. What are you willing to deal with? And this is what I like. Like, come on.
Yeah,
And
exactly. And like I always had, like my mum had a really good saying, which is just feel the fear and do it anyway. Feel the fear, do it anyway. Because what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to lose that person, but then you're not abandoning yourself. Who are you going to be with longer? Them or you? Like you, there are other people who feel like you do, but you got to take some responsibility and like take yourself out of other people's expectations and start living your life for yourself. That doesn't mean you're not going to get jealousy. That
hmm
doesn't mean you're not going to experience negative emotions.
hmm
Like I think we as humans, we run away from feeling these negative things and feel ashamed of, we're all here to feel joy, sadness, happiness, envy, jealousy, anger, low mood. You're meant to feel all of them, but the more we push it away, the longer it stays.
yeah. Yeah. And you don't want them things building up. Like, I tell people all the time, it's like, hey, I'm a guy that, as a child, I had severe anger issues. When I realized, like, okay, this comes from me not feeling heard. Okay, maybe there are times I should say something more than once. Maybe there's times that I should speak up. Like, because not
Yeah.
everybody's gonna hear you. Like, once I realized that, it was like, okay, well, I'm not getting in fights anymore.
Yeah, and sometimes you need someone to vent to. And like
Yeah.
there's a huge problem with, I think we've spoken about this before, men feeling like they can't talk about their feelings with their friends because it's gay. Like
That's some good old fashioned bullshit. I've always had some friends that come here, T. You like, yeah, all right, cool. The hardest
yeah.
human beings I know always allowed me to vent and cry when I was a kid. So I, like, once I got, especially to like high school, where
Mm.
that was like even more prevalent. Like, I'm like, who the hell was raising y'all? Like, but
Yeah. If
that
you're not
also,
allowed to feel those emotions, they're just gonna ball up. They're gonna come up at a random ass moment
yeah.
and it's gonna explode, and there may be some very damaging things that you will say or
And,
do.
and that's precisely why you are beating the crap out of this guy over some nasty ass high school chicken nuggets. What the fuck, dude? You're getting suspended. Like, that actually happened. Like, the first, like, so the high school I
No
went
way.
to, no, the high school I went to, it opened up when I was in my 10th grade year. So my mother didn't want me in private school anymore, and she threw me over there. And I'm like, oh God, this is like a jungle. Like, because the school, it was like a regional high school, so they were pulling kids from a whole bunch of different other schools. So I'm like, y'all
Yeah.
do understand that there are like gangs and turf wars and shit, right? Like, going on. Like, these people, I'm not in it, but I know about it. But
I can see
Yeah, I
it.
can see it. But I'm literally sitting at in the cafeteria. I'm like the most antisocial kid at this point in my life. But there were like a crew of cats that kind of just adopted me because they saw me with some manga. So like one guy wearing a whole Naruto uniform is just sitting beside me, just like this. And I just didn't know why. He didn't say a word. He was just like, so I'm like, okay, well, that guy's strange. And I'm eating, and all I hear is, hey man, those my damn chicken nuggets. I'm like, chicken nuggets. And I look over, next thing you know, a guy is flying over the table. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I'm like, what the hell? And they start rumbling, and I'm like, how good are these chicken nuggets? And the guy on the opposite side of me is like, not that good. Want one? I'm like, okay, cool. I ate it, and I'm like, this is not good enough to be throwing no hands over. The fuck is going on here? I'm like,
Yeah.
so you got to express yourself, huh?
Someone needs a healthier outlet.
Somebody needs their dad to hug them. That's what I thought. Like, I'm like, yo, this ain't it.
Sometimes, and like this, I think this goes for men and women, like, you just need an orgasm. Like, I've done this, I've done breathing exercises, I've done all this shit. And then it's like,
Jesus
have
Christ.
you tried having an orgasm?
Listen, the amount of times that I've told friends of mine, especially like once I was in college, because man, it was some human beings around me.
Yeah.
But the amount of times I'll be like, I mean, you could just go rub one out real quick, right? Something.
Yeah.
Go figure that out, man, because you're losing it right now.
Yeah.
Get your head straight. God.
And that's the thing as well. Like, you have these urges and stuff, and we're told that they're wrong and they should only be between married couple and blah blah blah. Like, why
First
though?
of all, First of all, especially the idea like, okay, this should only be done between married couples, da 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 da. Actually, hold on Instagram, somebody said, my boy Ninja of Wakanda, he said, interesting topic. I think sex work is looked at negatively because of the old values of Christianity and politics. The idea things should be this or not. Here's the thing, right? Especially when it comes to the idea of Christianity.
Yeah.
There are people that follow me that think I'm very hard on Christians. I am.
That's correct.
I am. I am. It's just, hey, listen, I was a part of the Seventh-day Adventist church. I was raised in freaking Pentecostal churches, Baptist churches, Methodist churches, went to Catholic churches and things like that. And even in the mosque. Thank God that was fun. I'm like, you want to talk about a place where I actually felt the spirit? But don't call it that in a mosque. They'll be like, the spirit. What do you mean, brother? But
The terminology is just, yeah.
yeah, but it's just like, I'm like, with the amount of atrocities that the Christians over like the past couple thousand years have committed. What?
I know. And like, didn't Jesus
Like
love
morals.
prostitutes anyway? Like, didn't he like literally, his bestie was like Mary Magdalene?
Yeah.
Like, she was the bomb diggity. He was all over it. I'm not sure actually if the disciples though just called her a prostitute because they were like extremely jealous that he really
I mean, the thing about the Bible is depending on how it was translated and giving the
well,
times, yeah,
yeah.
they'd be like, she over here hanging with Jesus. Mm-hmm. Oh, they just friends, huh?
Well,
Yeah,
in that
right.
case, he would have liked someone like me, and and also something I've noticed. Do you know who messes with sex workers and really respects them and likes them? Really, really fucking rich people, because they're flying them all over the world. Some of these girls, they are. Not only are they beautiful, they're clever. They're doing master's degrees for fun, and they're being they're being flown around the globe and treated like
Mm-hmm.
an absolute princess.
Yep.
And why is and then you got Barry doing 40 hours a week, taking himself to his IT consultant job, saying that we're no better than junkies and whatnot.
My whole thing is this. There are people who either lock themselves off to the idea of something or they'll try to villainize it until they have comfortable access to it.
Yeah.
It's just the truth. It's just the truth. Yeah, we don't need this.
Yeah, if
gets
you
in a
didn't have more
position.
money than sense, would you be taking an absolutely stunning, incredibly beautiful and intelligent woman around the world with you on your escapades? Would you not be doing that?
Like, if it's
Mm,
not you, then it's not you. But if it is, what's the
why
problem?
why is it a problem for you? No one's making you do it if you can't afford it.
Yeah, it's a exactly. Exactly. No one's shaming you for not doing this because you can't afford it. No one's doing that. The opposite just
No.
doesn't happen. I've yet to see it. I've
She's
yet to see it.
It's not like they're extorting anyone. It's not a scam. Like everybody
This is a willing
agrees.
participant.
Everyone agrees to it and they're getting the service that they asked for as well.
Exactly.
They didn't win the Ugandan lottery in that email that got sent to them that they didn't ask for. Like,
Oh my God. See, first of all, here's my thing. I know people who have like that idea that, like, okay, if I pay for dinner, I should be able to hit, right? Here's the
oh,
thing. Here's the
that
thing.
annoys me so much. Like,
Here's the thing.
no.
I'm like, if that's the experience you wanted, this should have been discussed beforehand. First of all,
Yes.
most of the guys I know that take these women out, they don't even discuss it beforehand. Now, if you're telling me you got bamboozled, that's a little different. But then I'm gonna ask, how did this go? Did you say, "Hey, baby, I'm trying to take you out this Sunday with the intentions of once you have a good meal and a good experience on our night out, I get to freaking fandangle your Schmacgyver." Like, if
Yeah.
that's the
Also,
conversation you had, she said, "Yeah, all right, cool. I understand why you're upset if she just got up and left." But people can still make
yeah,
choices. But
it's consent.
exactly. But all of
Mm,
this could have been avoided
If you
if
just said,
you eh,
just
just
make
went
your
for a service.
intentions clear. Just be
Yeah.
like, right, okay. Do you also, has the conversation been leading that way? Did you feel like it was coming up to that, or have you only conversated twice and you've decided to try and wine and dine them and maybe convince to 69 them afterwards? Like, you overestimated your charisma and charm, my friend. Like, if you were concerned with 80 to 100 pounds or dollars or whatever, then to get sex at the end of it, then concern yourself with sex workers
Yeah.
and increase your budget. because,
Oh my
because
God.
you were relying on your charisma and charm to take you the full mile, and you overestimated. Like, why is that everyone else's problem but yours?
It's nothing more than I didn't get what I want. Like, bro, fucking
I should
well,
be getting sex.
then there's a way around it. Then there's a way around it. I know some people who it would be more fiscally responsible for them throughout an entire year if they just patroned a couple of sex workers rather than doing this nonsense. And then say, man,
That's not
oh
even
my God.
guaranteed. That's not even guaranteed. If you start being rude to the waiting staff or start being a racist homophobe, she might fucking leave and all with your money. So, like, nothing is guaranteed. I mean, you'll have a better increased chance if you're respectful and nice, but thinking anyone owes you anything without like prior agreed terms,
Mhm.
like, why don't you embark on a self-reflection journey and perhaps maybe even have a bit of humility and ask where you went wrong? Like, what do you think would have taken me over the line? Is it because I said Andrew Tate has some good points that perhaps your pussy dried up and then you no longer wanted to buy?
Oh my
Because it
freaking
could be
God.
like nobody wants to look at themselves as the problem. And that is the problem. It's like you could probably improve your chances of getting to hit after spending 80 to 100 on a date. Maybe if you ask them where the fuck you went wrong, perhaps if she wasn't scared that she's going to end up in a fucking canal, if she gives you some negative feedback, you might actually improve your chances. But it's not anyone else's responsibility to do that to make you more likable.
It's nuts.
Ah!
It is
It just
nuts.
makes me laugh. It's like, we should be getting this. We should be get. Who on this earth told you anyone owes you anything when you arrive here? Oh, mm, oh yeah, that's right. No one. And that's why it's like, if you really, really wanted to get sex at the end of that date, you need to make it clear beforehand that, that's what you're hoping is going to happen, or you'd like to split the bill. I mean, the minute you mention splitting the bill, I'm pretty sure most women aren't going to go on that date with you. So why not just, if that's too expensive, go for a coffee or a fucking walk? No one's making you go on these dates. No one. Oop.
Okay. No. It's something that came up. I had to. All right. Sorry. But yeah. No, like, you remember that? I think I might have mentioned I had a meeting that was coming up.
Oh,
Oh, no. Don't worry. I'm in it. Like I said, all I had to do was show my face. But
hi. Goodbye.
but yeah, no, it's a presentation that I'm just looking at, but we could definitely keep our conversation going.
That's hilarious.
No, it happens. I was just like, wait, what time is it? Because my business partner jumped into the Instagram chat like, hey, that Zoom call. I'm like, oh shit.
Oops.
Whoops. At least I won't get my ass whooped.
Getting you fired in your normal job. Well done.
Oh no. Like, this ain't my normal job. This is a gig I picked up for this weekend. That's all.
Oh, well, there you are then. You're all right.
I'll be all right. They said, yeah, that Savon guy is something else. Oh God, here we go.
He wasn't even listening. He's talking about sex with.
They're like, yeah, so what's going on with Savon right now? My mic switches over to there. Yeah, so I had my thumb in her ass once, and she's like, whoa.
What the heck?
Like, all right.
But yeah, but I just think, like, when it comes to dating, if you're not in a position to date, don't date. If you're not in a position to take rejection, don't date. Go to therapy. Go to therapy. Maybe build up more of a rapport before offering to take someone on a date.
Mm-hmm.
Spend a little bit of time, bit of graft, put in some hours.
You can figure this shit out, dude. You could easily
Just
figure
me.
this shit out.
Hold on.
Like,
is it? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Oh, go away. Hello?
Yeah, you're good.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Oh God. Hold on.
Oh no.
Oh
I can hear
it's
you.
disconnected me. Oh.
No.
I'll be back in.
I got you. Let's see. All right. We're gonna bring Chelsey back in a second. Let me see.
Can you hear me? Nah.
Okay.
Sound and everything.
I'm gonna give you the.
It's gone.
I'm gonna give her the link again. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Let's see, kink. And I'm gonna bring her back in, and then we're gonna. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Let me see if this will work out. Bang. Let's see. Will she jump back in? You said we have a technical hiccup. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know what that was about, but okay, let's see.
Am I back?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you
All
hear
right. Me? Yes, we are back.
God, the technical issues. I swear to God. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. But,
well, I can only stay another 10 minutes anyway before I have to actually go and get my my small human that I brought into this human existence.
Hey, understandable. I gotta go lay some wood.
I love that thing.
You know, it's hilarious because, like, there are times that I'll have like this with me, and like if I'm talking to a friend of mine, I'm like, hey, you want to see my wood? They're like, what? And then like I'll send them a picture of this.
Snow, you think?
The only person that did not fall for it is my really good friend Calypso. Shout out to her. But I said that to her one day. I was like, hey, listen, we've been friends for a while, and I've been thinking, like, you like to see my wood? She was like, why do I feel like this is a piece of pine or something? And of course the picture comes up. She's like, yeah, you can't fool me, you freaking idiot. I'm like, I love you. Anyone else? Oh my God. And then anyone else, they're either like, what? Excuse me? Or it's yes. And I'm like, huh? Oh, well, shit. Well, here you go. And they're like, oh,
I wasn't expecting that. Oh.
oh, don't let me be in a Home Depot. Oh my gosh. I'm over here just like I'm surrounded by wood. Okay, let's get some mahogany.
Oh, I know. Wow. I mean, if you wouldn't have the crochet booty otherwise, would you?
Where is my? It's right back there. It's right back there. I'm gonna get another one from my homegirl.
I think you should make one that looks like a peach, and then you call it the diplomatic peach.
We're bringing out all of our.
When things get heated, bring a cute little diplomatic peach to the party.
It's like, hello.
And everyone can calm down. Stop being so mean.
Please. Like, first of all, hey, listen, that on this internet, you could be spending your time making yourself feel a lot better rather than bringing on so much hate on the internet and acting a goddamn fool just because somebody else is doing something that you don't necessarily agree with.
And I bet you don't feel better after. You still feel like a piece of shit. And you know, it's just one of those, it's an age-old thing, isn't it? It's like dimming someone else's light is not going to make yours any brighter.
Nope.
It's just not. You're ignoring the fact that whatever you're angry about, you're ignoring the self-limiting belief that your soul is trying to show you that you need to address within you. And like, not them. We don't have control over other people. The only thing you have control over is yourself and your perspective. And I think that's why I do well, like, in this type of work, because I've always thought differently. I've got ADHD. I never really thought the same as others. Like, I've thought more sort of like logically and like what's feeling good and morally, like as long as I'm not hurting anybody, it's fine. Like, I did have like, so when I first left my ex-husband, like I went on a bit of a dickathon, shall we say. I went on a rampage. I was like, I need shallow validation and I need it now. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to get it. I'm going to spin on as many cocks as possible and I'm going to enjoy myself. And I fucking did. But they were like, why don't you just go out with one night stands? All you need to do is show your work pass and you open your legs. And I'm like, yeah, well, guess who wasn't cut up in a suitcase in a river? My reputation might not be intact, but my limbs are. Like, what's more important to me? My safety or your opinion of me?
Let me tell you.
And like, what it's, you know, that's another thing as well. Humans change. Like, sometimes everyone's like, what are you gonna do when, you know, someone finds out? Or what if you don't like doing it anymore? It's like, well, then I'll stop. Like, I'll listen to my inner voice, and perhaps something that was serving me then isn't serving me now, because doing that stopped serving me. I didn't enjoy it anymore. I was getting weirdly attached to people that I didn't want a relationship with, and I was like, this doesn't feel good. I don't want to do this anymore. I think I've served that purpose now, and I'm going to go and be with the crystals and heal myself and get some therapy, because that was fun. But I am done.
That was fun, but I'm done. Oh god.
Yeah.
I'm using that. I'm using it. But hey, look, that is the truth. There are some things that, you know, once again, people may not agree with certain things, but there are different ways for people to express themselves. Okay. And different phases people have to go through. And if you don't think that is a thing, then you are denying your humanity. You're like,
exactly. Like, obviously feeling sad forever isn't going to serve you, so why would you feel sad forever? You don't always need to do things to try and make yourself feel better if you're not feeling sad, and you don't need to it's just mad how everyone thinks you have to be the same forever and just do things that make you happy, that they deem should be the right thing. And it's like, but that's not going to be the same case from one week to the next. That might have felt good then, but it doesn't now. And it's okay to change. That's the whole point of being human.
Yeah, especially a single human being. Now, if you're in relationships and it's not working out, if the flow isn't going the right way, listen, you want to be with somebody you can grow with, right? And it'll understand you, you know, through and through, and be willing to grow and understand with you. If that's not the case, then look, that's just not the one for you. I understand that we have expectations, we have hopes, we have wants, and all that other stuff, but just
It's
understand.
mostly communication, honestly, because whether you're in a monogamous relationship, polyamorous, open, whatever, you're going to still feel all those emotions: jealousy, joy, sadness, things aren't going right. It's how you overcome them together, whether you even can. If people don't want to work on things, you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink. Like, do you know what I mean? Might have a pancreas problem, doesn't want any water right now. Like, you can't make anybody do anything. So if you're throwing all your effort into something and you're not getting it back, you have every right to not abandon yourself and leave them where they are in their reality.
Yeah, because things are going to line up for them whatever way is going to line up for them. Like,
And what's meant for you won't miss you. You know, maybe you'll circle back. I know lots of people who've broken up for like a few years, done some stuff, and then gone back together because they were like, yeah, no, I think I've addressed those things that were making me feel lost and like I couldn't be with you. And they found their way back to them. It doesn't always happen, but that's okay too. People are so scared of losing stuff that they're willing to just completely abandon themselves.
Yeah. And once again, it comes out. And when it does, it's never a pretty face that comes out.
No, exactly. But I just think the world could do with just being. It would be so much nicer if there was a little less judgment and a little more understanding. Doesn't mean you have to accept it as part of your reality, but there's no need to go spouting hate and spreading the hate seed.
Absolutely the fuck not. Now, Chelsey, listen, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. The floor is yours if you want to connect people to any of your channels. Just spill it out right now, then I'll wrap.
Oh, well, I think you know on my Instagram, it's Chelsey_Peach. It's the same for Twitter if you want all the explicit stuff. But then if you want the bougie page, it's meat_Peach. So, yeah, where I'm slightly less legs akimbo.
We also got to talk about, like, on another day, we also got to talk about your bodybuilding as well, man, you know?
Oh, yeah, you can't really see it in this. You can see my tiny
Like,
little... Look at my little pancetta.
We got scrimp in this video. Not strength, scrimp.
You know what it is? What is it? It'd probably be grits, wouldn't it?
Grits. He said we got grits. Ooh. Oh my gosh. All right.
This has been so fun. I'm sorry that we couldn't obviously have it a bit earlier because we had technical issues.
Hey, listen, I know, right? I know we could have jumped in, but hey, listen, there'll be more of this. And yeah, you guys heard her channels. I will be putting it in the descriptions on all the platforms. It'll be out on Spotify, Apple, all that other stuff. Yay, whoop-de freaking do. Listen,
I'll be back.
Oh my gosh! I should make that face like the actual thumbnail for the video. Like,
why doesn't Jim believe people pay for this?
Y'all have no idea how much she brings me joy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Health, safety, peace, love, and blessings. And same once again, thank you so much, Chelsey, for coming on.
You're welcome.
See you next time. On God Podcast. This is Tavon Anthony. See you later.